Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to see you all. It's wonderful that we get to gather here again. And I wanted to start the meeting just by, again, thanking Carol and Elizabeth for the incredible work that they did on the books. And this book is just been fantastic. People really love it. I do want to mention one thing that came up just recently, and that is our contact page on our website. So when I made an inquiry, I discovered that it hadn't been monitored and there'd been no replies to emails over a 4-year period. And I was able with our webmaster to obtain the credentials, eventually to get in. And I then proceeded to answer every email that was in there, as old and irrelevant as it was, because I felt that we really needed to do that for our group. I didn't think it was appropriate, and I made my excuses and explained what had happened. And now that we have a fresh inbox, I will tell you that the librarian from the Metropolitan wrote to me thanking us for the book. And when I wrote back, I said we were glad for their interest and perhaps they would like to purchase the next volume on the 80s and support it. And she said, yes, she can do it through their PayPal account or something like, or some other account. So I think that that will be really great when we have our next book to initially contact everyone who's received the 70s books, because if they are happy and purchase the 80s books, we have our fund to double our library influence and get more books out with our own personal resources and have this kind of snowball. So
the Metropolitan Museum of Art
in New York.
In New York. Great.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So people are starting to recognize this, and I think that's really quite wonderful. And all I can say is that none of this would happen if not for the fact that everyone came together as a group, that there is so much more power in coming together and putting your work in context. It's just incredible. And so I thank everyone who participated, because I know that there's so much in life and we all have our own exhibitions and writings and life and family. And there's been a lot of illness in the last period. So not to mention the fact that there's the isolation of the pandemic. It's been very difficult. So I just wanted to shoot that in there, even though it wasn't on the agenda.
What were the other, the old inquiries or mails that you had to answer? Were they relevant at all?
A lot of them were family members who, some of them were artists who we know and who want to join. Some are family members who need directions for artists in their family who've passed away. Some were students doing research and are no longer at those institutions that I wrote to. So it was a big mix. We're talking about 4 years. Right. If you want to go and read them all, they're all in collected there. I didn't get rid of any of them. I created a file that says, for answered mail, and it's all there as a record.
Thank you, Jan. Thank you. So
yeah, thank you.
Well,
thank you, Jan.
It had to be done. So the new book, I hope that everyone has enjoyed doing their writing.
Well, I'll tell you, I've received one file, and I don't know if people are going to be sending me their files, but
I know from Curtis. I know
yes,
from Curtis.
Yes.
Curtis is on top of things. I think a lot of people are waiting for the deadline, and they're aware of it, and it's in every email I send, and there will be a reminder. But I hope that it's been a great experience to do the writing, because I think this is a great opportunity to assess all the wonderful work that each one has done over so many years. It's really great to put it together, and to keep in mind that when you are doing this, you're also securing your legacy, and that you have a document that someone can go to in the future who did not know you, who wasn't here, and has a key to your work, so that it's not just for our book, it's also for your legacy in the future. And so I've asked everyone to send $100 check to Kim. And we will proceed with inviting a writer to write an essay for us for the next volume. We will be offering the same honorarium that we offered to Maria Porges with the same word count. We're going to try and keep everything just in line in this same format. And I think that it'd be great if Kim could give everyone a little bit of a background of where we stand financially. Kim has been amazing with all the bookkeeping. I mean, I can barely keep my own records straight, much less the idea of taking care of the financial well-being of 27 artists. So Kim, thank you. And would you like to address this?
Sure, we have about $667. However, I have not paid anything to Dennis recently.
Okay.
So Jan, there must be an invoice coming from Dennis.
There should be.
Okay,
So for those of you who haven't heard this, Dennis is charging us an hourly amount. He's charging us $60 an hour, which is a really reasonable standard. And the most recent task that he took on was to add to our book order page so that anyone can be on our website, linked from there with one click to Lulu to the page where the book appears and can be ordered directly. We have actually had some revenue from Lulu. There have been books purchased. At this point, the checks have gone to Kim. So Kim has had this added issue of the checks that look like income will be taxed. And so I think that we have to find a way of setting up a separate bank account for this, for everything that's coming in and out. It's not that there are ultimately taxes due. There should be a tax refund for this because our expenses are not being met. We're paying more for our commission and our printing and our honorarium and the printing and the webmaster. So there should probably be soon some separation between our funds and Kim's, because that's something that makes sense for the future.
Yeah, I think so. Because I think we should think big. And this year, I'm just going to absorb it into my own art business. And it's, it's a couple $100 basically. Well, actually, I got a check from Income was less than that, but then we did get a royalty check. No, I take that back. We got the royalty was very small in addition, but there were royalties and there was income. This is unclear. I'm unclear as to why we got some and why we got the other. I don't quite understand it. So I'm going to figure it out. I've got the, I can get onto the Lulu site now and see if I can dig it out. So it's all fine this year. But I do think, particularly if we are going to move in the direction of asking interested parties to buy instead of sending them one, there will be more money brought in. So let me think it through. I don't have it thought through fully now, but let me think it through. And if anybody's got, do we have any accountants in the group?
Yeah, I think the accounting is straightforward. I think record keeping, it's just, I think that we don't want you to be in a position where you're ever challenged about anything.
Yeah.
Um,
And I'm not, it's not me, it's my husband who is just major stickler.
yeah,
As a lawyer, there's people that would like to, anyway.
yeah.
that's
So,
another thing.
right. So yeah.
What are the royalties from? I don't understand that. I mean, I
What's
didn't
that?
know about it.
From Lulu.
They're
From-
making a
Not Lulu
distinction.
Stanley.
Not
but-
Lulu Stanley, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, not Lulu
Why is
Stanley, but it's from
Yeah,
the,
you got royalties?
yes,
So,
every
so when
time
we
you
sell
have
a
a
book,
sale.
when we
Mhm.
sell a book, say we have the book priced at $2 over the actual printing cost. So there's a sale price and we're getting $2 every time somebody outside of us purchases the book.
Well, I'm not sure about that because I think the royalties that we got were from us buying.
Yeah,
Yeah, they-
right. But there have
yeah.
also been people buying books.
And then
That's
there,
the difference between the royalty and the income,
okay.
Yeah. And
as far as
it's,
I understand it.
Yeah,
yeah, well,
yeah,
they,
if someone outside buys it, they, besides collecting sales tax, they also take a percentage. I forget what the percentage is.
Mhm.
And what's left over from the printing cost tax and shipping and their percentage is what you get in income.
Mhm.
And then if you purchase, you as the owner purchases books, that's royalties.
Okay, then that's exactly what happened. So remember, we wrote a check, I wrote a check for about $1,500 to buy our initial books.
But that was through the printer. That's,
Yeah,
the original
but-
printing was from a traditional printer.
yeah,
Lulu.com is an online,
Okay, okay.
on demand, yeah.
Oh.
on-demand printer, right? So that's
Okay.
the difference.
So they're just like, if I go to our website and go, oh, I want to buy one of those books, they print one book. They charge me sales tax, they pack it, they ship it, and they record that.
Well, how does Lulu know that? Because each of us individually would go there and buy a book. How does Lulu know whether?
Well, it was because I'm the owner of the site. I set it up.
And you gave them all our names?
No, only yours and mine.
Carol,
Because you're the one, I set you up as the receiver of the
Right.
funds.
So I received the checks,
You receive the checks.
but how?
And when I ordered some sample copies, I ordered them, I guess they call it like an author price, which they give it to you. They sell it to you for the base cost. And I'm not quite sure how that works, but whenever I order something, because I set up the account, I'm the owner of the account, even though I set it up as a separate account that's dedicated to this project.
so for instance, when we have done the books, we've ordered books to use as if they were proofs. So we get one book and we look at, and we're paying for that. So,
But that's different. That's from edition 1. That's part of the cost of printing, is we get one printed proof. It's not actually printed on press. It's a color proof.
right, but I think when we first did the first Lulu, the first time, we also ordered one just for ourselves to check.
We
were
did.
comparing
yeah,
the colors between them. We were making adjustments. We were
Yeah,
using
yeah,
it, we ordered it and used it as if it were a proof.
Yeah,
We did.
yeah.
But if we want to order them now for ourselves, we just order it through Lulu. Is that right?
Yes.
Go on, click on it. Mhm.
Like if I want a few more.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I, can I interrupt short?
Mhm.
I never got my book because I was away in Mexico. And I think I was also getting a book for Fiona, Carrie Vandermeer, who lives up here too. And I have no idea where they are or who helped me out. but-
Mary White gave your copies to Andre. Andre Singer Thompson has your copies, but Fiona didn't participate in this book.
What?
She didn't want to participate.
In this book, so she didn't have any. I mean, you might have ordered a copy for her, but she didn't. She herself didn't participate.
Huh. I'm very.
There were a number of
Right.
there were a number of artists who did not participate in the 70s book. And I hope that they'll change their mind about the 80s.
But yeah, Susan, your books are with Andre.
All right. Thank you, Carol.
And she has her open studios. So
One more day tomorrow. Or
Good time to stop by.
Saturday. I've forgotten Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. So I don't know if any of you have had a chance to visit the artist documentation program or look at the video I made about materials and process. And I hope that you will value this as a tool for the future of your work, for conservation, for the materials, things that we assume will continue and be self-evident in the future probably will not be. And so it's really wonderful to get a documentation, even if it's only focusing on 3 pieces of your work from different periods or in different different media, and putting this together. And I think that while I'm happy to receive them at any point in time, so they can be sent to me by WeTransfer, and then I will upload them to our YouTube channel. I think the best thing is to wait until we've collected a number of them and then have Dennis do a new page for us where there are links. And that brings up the topic of our resource page. So our resources page, I think, can be far more useful and connect us to other organizations and other groups of women artists. I would like to propose that people reflect on this and maybe make suggestions so that we can have links to other sites and really refresh our resources page on our website. It's a really valuable connection to other artists and curators. So I think that we can really make the site more valuable and more useful to others. I just did a presentation at the College Art Association annual conference. And I think, and Elizabeth came and joined me as an interlocutor, a discussant, a respondent. And I think that there's a potential for really connecting up and down beyond the Bay Area, you know, within California, within other states, between some of the other larger cities. There's so many wonderful organizations, and we would be doing ourselves and everyone else a great favor to have that documented on our resources page.
Everybody that I tell about this project is just wowed by it. I mean, it's just across the board for me. Everybody says, what a great idea. And when you think about it, it seems an obvious thing to do, but you know, it's a.
But it's not, it's hard to get people together.
Exactly.
And
It's
I
not-
guess-
know.
We came together at a time when maybe, I don't know, it was more possible.
Yeah,
Somebody has to spearhead it in a sense.
yeah.
Thank you, Jan.
Yeah, thank you.
Well,
Yeah.
Thank you,
it
Edith.
isn't just one person,
And
obviously,
Edith,
you know.
how is Edith?
Everybody.
Edith, yeah.
It's really,
Yeah.
I
She started it.
I will just say that we are also now listed on the New York Public Library's resources page. They have artist resources. They have a really amazing website with great programs and artist talks and things like that. And so we're listed now as a resource. Our website is there. And it's an opportunity really to secure things for the future. Again, while we're still here, there are all these things that we can do that we won't be able to do afterwards. So now is the time to do it,
I never
you know? And I think if people have any ideas about things, that would be really great. I hope with these couple of books that we're doing, that we'll be in a position where not too far in the too distant future, because I don't know how, you know, time is not so unending for us, that we'll be able to maybe find a foundation to give us a grant, maybe for the 90s volume or the one after or some other project.
That's
So
a fantastic idea, you know.
yeah, I think that this is definitely something that will appeal to a number of foundations. So
Yeah.
I'm excited about the fact that we are doing something of historical value here,
Yeah.
something that's being appreciated by
think-
others.
3 books will make a big difference.
Yeah, yeah. I think once we have sort of acted upon our intentions and been able to produce something, it'll be easier for someone to invest in the future and in the next volume. So,
Right.
I'm looking forward to the boxed set.
yeah.
Because as Carol already knows, I've got all the cover colors picked out for the various decades. We've been discussing like what are the colors of the decade, going back to, the Pantone colors of the decade or the years. And it'll look really nice. And because we reduced the size of the first one, everything will be available on lulu.com, not from Lulu Stanley. And it'd be fun to see them in a box set. I don't know if they actually, I'll look into that to see if they'll actually box it for us.
We can have a custom box made for us. For instance, I know that, Magnolia has, or John Demerit maybe,
John
or
Demerit.
maybe
No, no,
everyone has these, the tools for making, the boxes.
Those cost a lot of money.
Yeah.
They do, they
Places
do.
that do it,
But if they have it privately for themselves, then it'll be easy, I think, to find a printer or a company that does it. I mean,
yeah.
the tools are
there-
available.
Yeah, there's mechanical tools where it's
Yeah.
not hand done.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it might not be as special looking as what John would do, but
No,
it would
well,
work.
we also don't have the same books to put inside it that go into John's
But-
boxes.
Yeah.
We could have the special fundraiser versions, where John
We-
Demerit does the.
No.
We could
Box.
have like an anniversary edition with, we publish everything. Great paper. Yes. Cloth bindings.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We'll be dreamy dreamers dreaming on, but that would be
Yeah.
nice. Mhm.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
So, before we start just talking about how everyone is and what everyone's up to, is there anything else related to the group, to the book, to the website that you'd like to bring up?
I just want to make sure we get Dennis paid.
Yes,
Should I contact him? I'm happy to do that.
I will remind him that we haven't gotten an invoice if you want, or you
Okay.
can. That's fine. I mean,
Okay, I'll just reach out to him.
okay, all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, Linda, you had your hand up, yeah.
Yeah, I was just wondering about where it says Bay Area artists on our book. Do people they're in Ohio or they're in Louisiana? And if because we're not saying California on it, are we? I don't think so. Do people know where the Bay Area is? Is it totally obvious to the rest of the world? I know this is maybe
No,
a dumb question.
It's a really valid point. I would say that thanks to Oakland, at this
Uh-huh.
point in time, people really think a lot about the Bay Area and about the East Bay. I think with the exodus from San Francisco and all that's going on in Oakland, I think that attention, and recognition and acknowledgement, that all that interest is really shifted. It has really shifted. And
Well, what about
Throughout the world, there's Bay
California?
areas. I mean, other metropolitan areas call part of their, geographic location the
Well,
Bay Bay Area with a capital T. So I think that it needs to say, California.
we
California.
have Bay Area figurative art that has reached throughout the world. There are artists who in Berlin who are crazy about the Bay Area artists, Bay Area figurative artists, and they know Bay Area figurative
And
artists.
they know, okay.
They
Okay,
know
good.
it.
Well,
And-
it says in the introduction to the.
It's very clear in the
it
introduction.
says,
Oh, okay, it does, it says
It
California.
says arts in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's on the first.
Okay,
But
page.
we can add that
It-
to the
it could say
listing in
California right there.
lulu.com. We
Yeah.
could add that.
I
Yeah,
would- I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Or even, you know, on
Yeah.
the title page.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in terms of, you know, art, Bay Area figurative art, I mean, there have been
the
thousands of
thing.
books written.
Yeah, yeah, right.
And it's not a term that does not have a lot rooted in art history. So I think we're okay with,
Yeah, okay.
I wouldn't go renaming the group before.
No, I just thought someplace in the book,
Oh.
Yeah,
That's
we
all.
don't have to rename the group, but I think if you put it on the book, it's.
or
Because I mean,
someplace in the book.
we can't assume that everybody knows. We know art people might know, but it does locate us.
Yeah,
That's nice.
Yeah.
Do you mean like on a title page? Because if you read the editorial or the introductions, they're very clear.
Yeah,
Listen, have it, you know, the little blurb that you have on the back,
Yeah.
Elizabeth, that could be a really good place to put it. So the
Like-
back of the book, if you've never gotten to the very back of the book, Elizabeth, new and improved in this version, has this little bit from Maria and a little excerpt. And that could be a place where,
Oh, we did it on both.
yeah,
It's a pull, we've been doing pull quotes
pull
from
quote,
the
yeah.
introduction.
mhm.
But this is pretty clear, you know, the context of it. Amidst all of this, an important shift of consciousness was taking place.
but still you have to go.
Oh, but it
through
says the
with-
San Francisco Bay Area. It is so clear. It says the
Okay,
home of
okay.
many alternative countercultural lifestyles. San Francisco also became the center for the anti-war, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, everybody knows where San Francisco is in the whole world.
Probably enough.
Thank you.
It's good enough. And this is, well, this is not as explanatory, the first one.
That's probably because of the text you were, you know, using.
We were dealing
So-
with.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
So we're coming down on time, and I'm afraid we'll be cut off, but it'll be a refreshing like minute break or so, and then I'll let you bet all in, and then we can talk a little bit about what's going on with everyone and what everyone's up to, and reconnect. Okay,
Mhm.
great.